inside of the county center to take a look at the starting lineups for this afternoon's game. Kyle Collinsworth with some NBA experience is in the front court along with her on this snowy Saturday afternoon as they welcome into the county center one of the best in the league, and the Knicks in the home blues open with possession.
Let's get it on.
A whistle is called.
See, the Knicks tried to take advantage of the pick and roll. Mike Scott was able to create that foul.
So this Mike Scott, a 5-year pro out of Idaho, is not the Mike Scott that went to Virginia and has nearly 500 NBA games to his resume. Andrew White III with his feet set, and he cans the three. One of 4 players for Westchester in the top 25 of the league in three-point shooting.
That's a great sign for the Westchester Knicks. Andrew White hitting his first 3. Hopefully he can continue that throughout the game.
Jarrell Brantley working against Wooten, both of those players on two-way deals. Rodney Pryor off target, and Kadeem Allen rips away the weak side board. White III on the roll to Wooten, and that was broken up. Good job there to intercept the pass by Brantley, who brings it into the front court. Pryor uses the screen into the paint. 2-man game with Brantley as Jarrell does it on both ends.
The undersized center that has great hands.
White on the pull-up. That's off the front of the iron. Brantley will trigger and come up short. Offensive rebound Pryor, and that's in and out.
Everybody clap your hands.
Catch and shoot, Kadeem Allen, who found a groove playing in consecutive games for New York. Mike Scott on the leak out. Kadeem Allen is called for the goaltend.
I like the hustle. The ref here at half court made that call. I don't know about that one, but the refs can't change it. Good hustle by Kadeem Allen.
Zach Irvin on the move. Puts Westchester in front. Kyle Collinsworth out of BYU is picked up by Allen. And now this is Pryor driving in, rejected by Kenny Wooten, second best in the league in that category.
I guess Pryor didn't know that.
Peters, bullet pass inside to Irvin, who is camped out under the basket.
And that's what Westchester has to do. They have to create their offense through their defense.
3-point lead for Westchester early going. Kadeem Allen, the board, pushing to Lamar Peters, who's an explosive scorer with handles. Too short on the floater. Collinsworth wants the baseline. Pryor, rhythm dribble is open, and it rims out. Knicks got lucky.
Good rotation defense by the Knicks. Guys helping each other out, making sure they cover each other.
Peters goes behind the back, creates the space. Lamar Peters.
Good move by the rookie.
Lamar Peters shot, a terrific outside shooter who played on assignment last year, or was a two-way contract with New Orleans, and because at the time the Pelicans did not have a G League team, Trayvon Blewett Played 17 games in Westchester last year. Back underway with Salt Lake City having possession in the road white uniforms. Terrell Brantley, the mismatch against Andrew White III, fading away and knocking it down.
Well, we knew he was going to make a shot eventually in the game, leading his team in scoring.
Kadeem Allen picks it up and scores. Had great position in the paint.
He was able to catch Mike Scott off balance and able to score over the smaller guard.
Brantley stripped.
I really like the strategy that the Westchester Knicks are trying to do. Whenever Brantley gets the ball in the post, they're trying to double from the wing just to get it out of his hands and make somebody else make a play.
Blew it, open, cans it. Second year out of Xavier, Trayvon blew it. Lamar Peters, crossover, fires away. It's a three that's off target. Foul called against Allen. Lamar Peters had such a great quote recently in an interview with Ian Begley of SNY TV, basically saying that Coach DA allows Peters to play and to play freely, and then after the game they sit down and they talk about what he could do better and what he can improve on. But Coach Alston has really allowed this electric guard, volume scorer but also facilitator, kind of play through some mistakes on the floor.
And I think that's every player's, well, I know that's every player's dream, is to have a coach like Coach Alston to just let him go and let him play his game and learn by his mistakes as Andrew White hits the pull-up jumper. Learning by your mistakes, watching film, getting better the next game, the next play, and it gives guys like Lamar Peters confidence, and hopefully that rubs off on his teammates.
Collinsworth spinning in, no. Allen the rebounds. Knicks want to push the pace. 5-point first quarter lead midway through. Tim Bond is checked in. He spins and rejected. Pushed ahead to Pryor for the transition slam.
That's a good block by Mike Scott. He was beaten, still able to get the block.
Off the dribble, White the third. Feeling it early, but missed there.
I wish White would just shoot the first opportunity he gets it. He just shoots it instead of putting it on the floor.
Driving in on the baseline, no good. Rebound tapped around. Zach Irvin given space. Irvin driving in. Isaac Haas defending. And the kick-out pass is stolen. Another good defensive play by Scott to Pryor, and then Kadeem Allen wraps him up. Rodney Pryor will shoot one free throw worth two.
Look at that block by Mike Scott. Then they're able to get the fast break, easy points. That's probably the easiest points Pryor is going to get for the rest of the night.
Salt Lake City Stars, number 19, Rodney Pryor, shooting one worth two.
J.J. Moore is checked in, giving Kenny Wooten a breather.
Number 5, Jarrell Brantley.
That free throw worth 2 points. If you're joining us and new to the G League, that's a free throw rule implemented this year, where over the course of the first 46 minutes, as Zach Irvin drives in, here's J.J. Moore firing from three. It's an air ball. Only one free throw will be shot, and it can be equal to 1, 2, or 3 points, depending on the situation. Collinsworth fouled in the act of shooting, so here's another instance where his free throw will be worth 2.
That was a good move by Collin, taking it coast to coast. Spinning, creating some contact,
Checking into the game
getting the
for
foul.
Salt Lake City Stars, number 2.
T-Nick, what's important today? What are some of your keys in this matchup?
Deonte Burton.
Out-rebounding them. This team, Salt Lake City, whenever they are out-rebounded, they have problems, they have issues, and sometimes they lose the game. Going to the offensive rebound is key because now you stop their fast break. This is a team that likes to shoot a lot of threes. Number 2 is make them shoot long twos. They're third in the league, shooting 3-ball, 37%. And lastly, play the whole 48 minutes. It's like a broken record with this Westchester Knicks team. They play 44 minutes, 42 minutes, play the whole game, keep your foot on the gas if you are ahead, and try to finish strong.
VJ King is in, healthy for the first time in a while after an injury, and that's Brantley.
That was a big brother, little brother block.
So welcome back block.
Man, great block.
First action for VJ in nearly a month, missing time with a hamstring strain and a right knee soreness injury. Collinsworth driving in, no. It was last touched by Salt Lake City.
Last couple possessions on offense, the Knicks have taken off-balance three-point shots. Let's see if this possession they could get a shot where they have their feet set and on balance.
More in the post. Leaning
Go.
in and a foul. Malik Ben-Levy defending and whistled for the personal.
That's a great option.
Foul on number 2, Malik Ben-Levy. That's his second personal, team third.
And that's what J.J. Moore has to do. As soon as you get in the game, go down low, create some havoc that way, and then shoot the off-balance three-pointer that he shot last possession.
Moore makes the free throw, good for 2 to shift the lead back to Westchester. 4 minutes to go, first quarter. First of a back-to-back for the Knicks. They'll have Capital City in town tomorrow. Brantley again getting all the way in as he has had a strong start to this contest.
With a strong start and a strong body.
Brantley a 3 of 4 start from the field.
14, Kyle Cassidy. That's his first personal, team 4. To the line for Westchester, number 21, J.J. Moore. Shooting 1, 2.
So Moore, another opportunity at the line to tack on 2 points. This time he could not. 5 lead changes in this opening quarter.
Uh-oh.
Brantley. Uh-oh is right.
That's another jam. Ooh.
On the bounce. Elevating is VJ King. Great opportunity for King in his first year out of Louisville to potentially earn some extended minutes. All reserve roster right now for the Knicks out there.
Now you see Salt Lake City ran the same play, but this time they were able to stay with their own man and not giving Brantley the wide open dunk.
Moore run off the line, driving in, and called for the offensive foul.
Shots that they want them to take. Teams don't really go in transition to score on them. Guys don't really get open shots. They do a good job individually and as a group.
And part of what makes them so good defensively is you saw the numbers briefly. Opponent field goal percentage, opponent three-point field goal percentage. You would think in a matchup of two good defensive teams, that you're looking at more of a defensive battle, as Salt Lake City is shooting 37% and the Knicks just at 43. Amir Hinton driving in, and another great example. Clean looks at the rim have been hard to come by.
Yes, and everybody helps each other for Salt Lake City. No man's left on one island by themselves, and that's the reason why they're one of the best teams in the D League.
Deonte Burton driving in and one. Now, we told you earlier not to confuse Mike Scott of Salt Lake City with the Mike Scott that played in nearly 500 NBA games, and this Deonte Burton out of Nevada should not be confused with the Deonte Burton who went to Marquette and Iowa State and is currently playing for Oklahoma City in the NBA. And D-Nick, not to suggest that you were confused, but just wanted to be preventative.
No, I wasn't confused because I know the Mike Scott
everybody
that's here with us tonight. We played against each other as Hinton gets the foul. The Mike Scott here, we played against each other 2 years ago when I was in Croatia. He played in the team called Split, which is a beautiful city in Croatia. I'm not sure if you've been there before, but we played against each other. We beat him by about 50 points, but I know the Mike Scott here.
Who needs 6-degree separation of Kevin Bacon when you've got Demetrius Nichols? I feel like there's a segment that's organically evolving here of choose somebody on the opposite team and let everybody know how many points you scored against them at some point.
You got to sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes.
Now, would you remember Mike Scott if they won by 50?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
So your memory goes both ways.
Yes, exactly.
90 seconds to go. This is prior a pump fake. And more the steal, 2-on-1. Hinton back to Bond, and he finishes it with a purpose.
Easy buckets, easy plays, defense. This Westchester team, like you talked about before, is a great defensive team. They have to find a way to get easy buckets against a team like Salt Lake City, as we see number 1 Deonte Burton get a layup.
Bond fading away. Brantley, one-on-one against Moore, into the paint, spins out. Brantley is there. And now Amir Hinton crossing over into the open floor. Dump off for Bond, and the floater is there. Westchester excelling in transition.
Amir Hinton creating some energy off the bench. That's what coaches like to see. When guys get subbed in, how are you going to impact the game with the time that you get out on the floor? And Amir Hinton is doing a great job.
Burton rejects the screen. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. Burton in the paint, floats it up. It is short. Knicks have 5 seconds. Tim Baum pushing. This is Hinton, catch and shoot high. Archer splashes through. 3 points at the end of the rainbow for Hinton at midcourt. And nearly gone down there for Burton. So 8 side. And good to know that Jamil is excelling as a pro in South Korea, as we welcome you back inside of the County Center with Demetrius Nichols, who's a longtime pro in his own right. I'm David Resnick inside of the County Center in White Plains. Westchester begins the quarter with a 3-point lead and a lineup of Lamar Peters, Tyler Hall, VJ King, Amir Hinton, and Kenny Wooten, who earlier this week signed an NBA contract on a 2-way deal.
He sure did. Well deserved by the 21-year-old from Oregon.
Tyler Hall off the dribble, knocks it down as the timer expires. You know, D-Nick, in addition to being on MSG this afternoon, we were also on Twitch. And for those watching on that platform, we're keeping an eye on the chat room. And if you have any questions for Demetrius Nichols, appropriate ones, let us know, and we'll try to work it into the broadcast as we move forward.
Yes, let me know.
Pryor defending. Peters, high off the glass, no. Headman feed to Mike Scott, who lays it in on the setup from Jarrell Brantley, who had 8 first-half points. Malik Benlevy out there as well, along with Rodney Pryor and Kyle Collinsworth, the lineup for the Stars.
Now, Dave, you see that last play, Salt Lake City, as soon as they got the rebound, you had 3 guys running in transition as Hall makes the 3 over Collinsworth. Westchester Knicks have to get back in transition because Salt Lake City is so good of getting the ball off the board and running and trying to get easy buckets.
Brantley driving in. He's been the best offensive player so far for Salt Lake City.
I really like that matchup between Brantley and Wooten, because Wooten is strong enough and quick enough to hold Brantley in front of him.
Brantley is 6'5", playing the middle.
250.
Built. Benlevy, Euro step and a whistle. It's a foul against the Knicks.
He's 250. He's strong. He's an ox. Great body.
Next foul on number 6, Tyler Hall. That's his first personal, team first. Returning to the game for the Westchester Knicks, number 7, Zach Irving, and 0, Kadeem Allen. To the line for the Salt Lake City Stars, number 2, Malik Benlevy. Shooting 1, worth 2.
Offensive rebounds off the missed free throw, and it results into 2 points for Rodney Pryor.
Can't have that happen, especially off the free throw line. Have to be engaged every second of the game.
Isaac Haas has checked back in to man the middle. Catch and shoot Hall from the corner. Good looking stroke. He's another one of those players for Westchester in the top 25 in three-point shooting, 1 of 4 in that category for the Knicks.
Yes, these past couple of games, Tyler Hall has been really showing the league, the team, the fans what he could do. He shoots the ball fairly well, plays defense, wants to play, has energy every time he gets out on the court. I really like how this kid plays.
Scott turns the corner in the paint. The leaner is not there. Neither is the follow attempt by Haas. Kadeem Allen pushing action without numbers, and he draws the contact.
That was a great push by Kadeem Allen, seeing that the defender was on his heels and getting the foul called.
Tyler Hall, another.
Yes, he's still hot. He is still
Oscillated between the starting lineup and a reserve position. In this league, D-Nick, you went through it. It really teaches you, you've got to be ready for anything.
You got to be ready. And Tyler Hall is. It seems like whenever he is in the game, as Blunt hits the 3, when Tyler Hall gets in the game, he's effective. He plays defense. He plays the right way. And he's going to continue to get minutes if he continues to improve this way.
Trayvon Blewett is called for the foul.
Trayvon Blewett, that's his first personal, team second.
His rookie season was cut short when he needed surgery on an injured thumb. He was in camp with Utah, and then an affiliate player to Salt Lake City. Back to Hall. That was a heat check, and that nearly dropped. Hall commits the foul on the other end.
Next foul on number 6.
Coach Austin complaining that Hall got hit on his elbow when he shot that 3. as he gets subbed out for Andrew White III. That's good minutes by Tyler Hall. I'm pretty sure Coach Alston is satisfied with his efforts.
Mike Scott with 7:40 to go first half. Wants Haas on the inside. Lamar Peters reaching in to cause the turnover. Handoff to Irvin. Hesitation on the dribble, and he booted it off of his orange kicks out of bounds.
I hate when that used to happen. That's happened to me a couple times playing.
Is that mental or physical miscue right there?
I think it's mental because you are, as Wooten gets another block, because you're thinking about doing something and your body is not doing it.
Peters coughs it up the other way. Collinsworth gliding in and one. Gets the layup to fall through contact.
If you're going to foul, make sure that the guard doesn't make the foul and one. You want to make him earn it from the stripe.
Returning to the game for the Salt Lake City Stars, number 1, Deonte Burton. To the line for the City Stars, number 6, Kyle Collinsworth, shooting 1.
Collinsworth completes the three-point play. Fourth year out of BYU with NBA experience in the 17-18 season after receiving a call-up to Dallas. Lamar Peters, that's an air ball.
Yeah, Collinsworth, a pretty good player, veteran guard, as he commits to almost turnover. Plays the right way, experienced. He actually holds the most triple doubles in college. That's pretty cool. With 12.
Versatile player on this level as well, as Burton comes off the handoff and scores. Andrew White III has it poked from behind. Floated up to Collinsworth and a quick pass to Pryor. With a foul called against Peters to add insult to injury, as Salt Lake City has scored 10 straight to tie it up.
And that's that experience that we talked about in Collinsworth. He was able to create the back tip foul and create some havoc that way. He's very experienced, knows how to play, and he's definitely helping his team.
Derek Alston wants time. Zach Irvin, when it comes to his ability to dunk the ball and also block shots.
And NBA teams want and need glue guys that work hard and play hard. And that's what you get out of this kid, Kenny Wooten. He has a 40-inch vertical. He's second in the league with blocks, 3.7 blocks per game. He runs the floor. What's interesting to me is that he's able to switch on guards, keep guards in front of him, and he's also able to hold his own down low, playing against bigger and stronger guys on the block.
And in a lot of ways, the introduction of two-way contracts now in its third year were made for a player like Kenny. As Salt Lake City has it in the front court, this is Haas underneath, and he wants to take down the backboard.
Did he even jump there?
You know, I'm not sure if we got a ruler underneath there for that vertical.
Man.
You know, that vertical looked very similar to one of us in the broadcast booth.
Exactly.
And it's not you.
It's not me.
But for Kenny, a guy, a couple of years at Oregon, first-year player. Salt Lake City trying to extend its lead and heading to the free throw line. who played with the Knicks in Summer League, who was part of training camp with New York, and now signing a 2-year, or now a year and a half, essentially, 2-way deal. It's basically saying, we've seen you improve over the last 6 months. Now let's see where you can take your game. Because a guy like Kenny, in my opinion, potentially has an NBA skill. His ability to block shots, rebound, and defend. And now New York has the next year and a half to figure out if he can translate that potential skill into a potential role.
Yes, and I think he does such a great job of, he has a great defensive IQ. He's able to get off his feet very quickly. He catches it with both hands, using his right hand and left hand. He's a good locker room guy. One of the things that I would love to see him improve is his offensive game. Can he improve that way? And he has a year and a half to really get in the gym and show the team that he's that player that they think he could be. I really think he has a lot of potential, and I wish him nothing but success as Bond hits the and 1 3-pointer.
And you know Coach D.A. is going to run over there to help him up. Brantley on the closeout called for the foul.
And who would have thought a guy like Kenny Wooten is going to get a 2-way contract? And that just shows that it doesn't matter who you are, how many points you score. If you come to work with your hard hat on every day and give 110%, everybody's watching, and it's a great lesson for other guys. I hope his teammates see that.
And he was somebody that was garnering interest around the league, and New York deciding to call Kenny up and give him a 2-way spot that was open after waiving Ivan Rabb. And so Kenny becomes the first call-up under the head coaching tenure of Derek Alston as Westchester turns it over.
Yeah. And not to say Ivan Rabb wasn't a good player. He was a good player. That's why he had a 2-way contract. But Kenny Wooten is, you know, he could be special defensively.
Brantley is a bull.
He's like an 8-ball down there.
Knicks foul on number 21, J.J. Moore. That's his 3rd personal. The Knicks are over the limit. Returning to the game for the Westchester Knicks.
I mean, realistically, if you're defending Brantley, I mean, what's kind of the idea? Because Moore is the same size, but listed 35 pounds lighter.
Yes.
So you know you're giving up some force.
Yes. If I'm guarding Brantley, first thing I'm doing is I'm beating him down the court defensively, because I want to get in position as Hall gets the wide open layup. I'm beating him down the court defensively, getting myself in position to guard him. Because he's so strong and big, I want to give myself a chance to be in the right positions to create a block or steal to cause havoc that way.
Knicks on the move. Dump back to Moore. Lots of contact, no whistle. And now a turnover as the pass is airmailed back to Westchester.
And another thing that I would do guarding Brantley is, if he's guarding me, I'm trying to go at him every single time to create fouls, try to create a foul. So now if he gets 2 or 3 fouls, now he's out the game. It makes me better and helps my team.
Another whistle called against Salt Lake City. Stars commit their 4th of the half. Great off-ball action. Tyler Hall.
Look at that. Look at the steal. And the 3-and-1. That's what I'm talking about.
What a sequence for Tyler Hall.
Yeah.
Great off-the-ball action. The headsy play to deflect it.
Yes.
And now a chance at 4.
Look at that. The layup, the 3 and 1. You can't guard me. Let me get the free throw.
And right in front of the bench for
Yes.
everybody to take part in the celebration of that sequence.
You know, Tyler Hall scored over 2,500 points in college. He's a scorer. He's a natural-born scorer.
19 off the bench for Tyler Hall. And now it's Moore that draws the charge.
And that's what we were talking about. Moore getting himself in position, now creating the charge against Brentley. So now the second time Brentley's going to go down there, he's going to think twice about trying to use his body to create some contact.
Tyler Hall just 3 points shy of his season high. He has now scored double figures in 9 straight games as he continues to find himself a role and niche on this team as a second unit scorer. DJ King is denied. And on the other end, it's a three-pointer for Deonte Burton. Tim Bond driving into traffic, lost it. Knicks are up by 3. Burton on the blow-by. Kick out, 4-3, no.
Yes.
And Kenny Wooten elevates for the rebound.
That's a good job by Westchester Knicks. They're making Brentley shoot long threes.
Hall wanted 3 more. Four of 6 from beyond the arc, an efficient 7 of 10 shooting for Hall. Leading all scorers. Salt Lake City has 3 players with 10. Blew it? No. 3/4 of a minute to go. Coming up at halftime, Derek Alston will speak with Demetrius. Andrew White III driving in and denied by Blewett. And then also we'll have an extended conversation with Tim Bond, his first year with Westchester, second year overall as a pro after winning a championship last year with Rio Grande Valley. Into Hall, floater, Tyler Hall, 21 first half points, 1 shy of his season high. What a half for Tyler. 7-second difference between game and shot clock. Westchester with a chance to extend the lead with the stop and score. It does not happen. Jarrell Brantley just a load inside, and he has a chance at a 3-point play.
That's his 3rd personal.
Go under.
To the line for the Stars, number 5, Jarrell Brantley.
Hey, Tim, last shot.
Shooting 1.
Last shot. Hey, good. Go under. Hey.
Tim Bonds wanted a pocket pass to Wooten, who wasn't ready, and a scramble for the ball at the end of the half allows the final couple of seconds to come off the clock. So we're ready to start the second half. False start. Were you sad when the Patriots got beat, or I know you're
You know what? I knew that was
Boston, New
coming
England guy?
eventually. I knew.
That's a fair question. That wasn't antagonizing. I mean, I'm curious.
You know what? After they lost I didn't watch any more football, and I may not watch the rest of the 3 games
Get
that are
outta
good.
here.
I'm not. And
6 titles aren't enough?
No, it's not. You know, we need 7.
Wow.
Yes. But
So the 3 o'clock start tomorrow doesn't bother you at all then? You weren't going to watch?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't. I like basketball better anyway.
That we know.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Although
But I
I'm
was
sure
very-
there must have been some coach in high school. Kenny Wooten called for the offensive foul on the screen that try to make you a tight end or defensive end.
You know what? I have a great story for you. So my first sport was football, by the way.
Really?
I started playing basketball very, very late. I started playing basketball at 12. My first sport was
Wait,
football.
I thought you were going to
Yes.
say.
And the coach thought it was smart to have me at fullback. Mind you, as Mike Scott gets the layup, I was a fullback. I was 102.5 pounds.
Soaking wet.
Soaking wet with boots on, with a helmet and pads. And after I got hit once, you know, I didn't quit. I just chose another sport. Thank God I did.
What? They wanted you to open up holes and move people?
I'm not sure what they wanted me to do, but it wasn't working. And I listened to the rest of my family and friends and said, you know what, basketball is something that you could be good at. And
You had a new fall sport.
yeah, exactly. And I fell in love with the game ever since.
Kadeem Allen, end to end.
He's been quiet tonight.
Just his second bucket. Fullback.
That's what I said.
Those people are still coaching?
They're probably not. You know, it was Papawana. You know, they just
I mean,
put
I'm not
kids
sure if I
anywhere
can
they
focus
want.
on the game right
Yeah,
now. Think of you as a lead blocker.
It was so bad. It was so bad.
Pocket pass slips by Wooten a little bit too low. Collinsworth to Pryor, and he traveled.
Great call by the ref.
Knicks basketball.
Should have just shot the 3.
Matt Myers, Brandon Schwab, Ken Jones, our officiating crew, led by Myers, the crew chief, who's a second-year NBA staff official.
He actually started in the D-League when I was playing. We had a nice chat before the game. Both congratulating each other as Peters misses the wide-open layup. Collinsworth with the turnover.
Out of bounds. Knicks ball.
Yeah, Matt turned to me and said, where do I know that guy from?
Yeah.
I'm like, basketball.
Yeah.
You know him from basketball.
Yeah. Good referee. Very, very fair. He'll have a conversation with you. He'll answer your questions. That's what players want.
There's Wooten on the pocket pass, slamming it down.
He gets one of those at least once a game, doesn't he?
Makes it look easy.
Yes, he does.
That's pedestrian.
Yes. You know, I shook his hand today for the first time as he dunks it. Ugh. He has huge hands. Oh! And that's probably why.
Remember, fans, foul balls might be redirected into the stands.
Exactly.
Wooten had a quiet first half, and now we've got the dunk on one and the block
Look at that.
on the other.
Get that shot out of here.
Ooh, be
Don't you
careful.
know I
This
average
isn't the park.
3.4 blocks? Yeah, you're right.
Be careful.
I said shot.
You did. No, you were perfect. Shot clock violation. Westchester did not have possession yet when the clock expired. So can the play of Wooten energize Westchester in this second half?
Corner, corner. Get low, get low, get low.
White the third driving in. Irvin fumbles, handles, locates White the third, working off ball for 3. Terrific combination there by the Knicks.
Those are the shots.
Two of the better defensive outfits in the league, and that has held true so far.
The bench has basically carried the Westchester Knicks to this lead, and I would love to see them continue to be aggressive when they come into the game, take good shots, make the right decisions. So far, so good.
You could tell where Brantley is working on his game. Now 0 of 5 from the three-point line, even though he's such a menace inside. Wooten got his hand on that one and just slapped it off the backboard. Collinsworth diagonally.
Good hands.
Allen saved it, diving into the front row, taking an empty seat. And Allen, a two-time honoree of the all-defensive team in the G League, got the deflection there.
And even though the Knicks didn't get the ball, his energy, his effort feeds off from his teammates. So now his teammates see that. Now everybody can be locked in and try to get another stop here.
Knicks last played a week ago, but speaking with Lisa C. Willis, an assistant coach, she said the team worked really hard this week during their practice time.
Yeah, yesterday I heard that practice was very, very fun, energetic. Guys had energy, guys were motivated to get back on the court again. As Peters knocks down the step-back jumper.
He could do that. That's in his arsenal as somebody that can create his shot off the dribble for either a three, in which he, entering today, has made the second most in the league, or get all the way in.
Yes, he can.
Moore reaching in on Haas.
And see right there, Moore has to play solid and play discipline. Let Haas make a jumper. Let's see if he makes one. And if he makes the second one, or if he makes the first one, then maybe create a foul. But stay solid, be disciplined, and use your hands, not your feet. Use your feet, not your hands, excuse me.
Peters, pocket pass. Irvin was stripped, but a whistle. They had Haas on Irvin, and once they recognized who the 5 was defensively, it was then Irvin setting that second screen and acting like it was Kenny Wooten.
Yes, yes. And they did that because they don't want Haas in the pick and roll, because they know how difficult for him it is to slide his feet and stay in front of the offensive player. So they put him on a smaller guy, and the Knicks still got what they wanted out of Irvin.
They have Moore and Irvin in the front court, and Kenny Wooten's on the bench. Ivan Rabb's not on the team, and Josh Cunningham just had surgery. So when the bigs came out pregame to warm up, it was just Kenny by himself. Poor
funny
guy on his own.
You know what? But he has 4 blocks. He's playing well. He's doing what he's supposed to do.
Good box out by the Knicks to keep Haas off the offensive glass. Peters, a pep in his step, and an offensive foul as the ball got wedged. Peters kicked out the leg on the 3 attempt, so even if he made it, it would not have counted.
And I know that's Peters' shot, but that's a shot you can get at any moment, any time of the game. You have the green light. You're up 10 points. Your team has a reputation of not keeping a lead. Let's try to get good shots and create easy buckets in transition.
But let's be fair, that's counterintuitive to the way he plays offense and the way he's been successful.
I understand that. But sometimes, as we've seen in the past, that when you take bad shots, you lose a lead, and now you're climbing up an uphill battle, and you lose a game that you're supposed to win.
Great ball movement to Moore.
But young fella, keep shooting, young fella. I'm with you. Listen, I'm rooting for you.
Burton, no. Haas couldn't follow. And, you know, we talk all the time about, as a point guard, as Irvin slipped.
Wipe out.
Pryor lost it. out of bounds to Salt Lake City. His bodies are flying all over the place. This idea as a point guard, facilitate or shoot. So that's one decision. And then also just the way that Peters scores. It's, do you show that discipline, or do you think about that discipline when naturally your game is to be aggressive at any point in the shot clock? So it's this added element of the decision-making process of Peters.
It is, and I was talking to one of the scouts here today.
There you go. Don't give up your sources
exactly.
like that, D-Nick. You're learning.
And we were talking about Peters, and we talked about him being a point guard and him being able to share the ball, even though he leads the team in assists, but knowing when to score and knowing when to find that teammate. But thus far, he does a great job. He's as Bond hits the wide open three, Peters is playing like one of the best players in this league thus far, and he's going to continue to get better.
Burton tees it up, has the answer from deep over Bond to hit one on the other end.
Burton's a veteran three-point shooter, shooting 40% from the three this year.
It's a foul called against Collinsworth.
That's his first personal, team second. Returning to the game for the Stars, number 5, Jarrell Brantley.
Great pass. Almost.
Out of bounds.
Great thought by Hall.
Salt Lake City.
He saw Hilton in front of his defender, and he just couldn't grab it.
Automatic when Blewett is that open. He did it for 16. Not playing at full strength. Nigel Williams-Goss not in uniform. Justin Wright-Foreman on a two-way deal is not with the team. There have been other assignment players throughout the course of the season. Juwan Morgan, Mia Oni, that have joined Salt Lake City to help them out to a 17-6 record. But if you're Westchester, you're going toe-to-toe with one of the best teams in the league. That should hopefully propel some confidence for your group heading into the second half of the year.
For sure. But, you know, the game is not over. There's another quarter left. And Westchester just has to finish. When they're up, keep the lead, take good shots, make the right plays, stay disciplined, do the things that works, as a great pass, no call.
Leads to transition the other way. Trayvon Blewett goes second side on the lay-in.
And that's what Salt Lake City does. They chip away. They don't really make a lot of mistakes defensively. And Westchester really has to be efficient here as BJ King knocks down the three-point shot. This is Westchester's challenge.
Hinton called for the foul.
Knicks foul on number 14, Amir. That's his first personal, team second. Returning to the game for Salt Lake City Stars, number 19, Rodney Pryor. And checking back into the game for the Westchester Knicks, number 1, Kenny Wooten.
Swung around the horn, no. Tyler Hall, the rebound, has not scored in the second half after 21 first-half points.
There you go.
2 minutes remaining.
Move the ball. There you go. That's what happens. That's what happens when you move the ball around. Guys get backdoored and guys get wide open dunks.
Brantley driving in against Wooten. Shot altered. King the rebound with his head up. Hinton had Allen, but didn't locate him. Now in the half court, Hinton working off the screen, throws up. Oh, Kenny Wooten. Knicks sharing the ball here in the third quarter.
Hinton coming off the pick and roll, seeing the big fella just throw it up to him. He's going to catch it.
7 straight. Good ball movement for Salt Lake City. You know, at some points, as Brantley knocks down the three, like as a player, when you watch film and see the type of looks that you get moving the ball and playing as a team, how do you ever think about playing iso ball?
You know, it's just bad habits, lack of concentration, and sometimes we as people stop doing the things that work for us. And some teams usually struggle with that. But hopefully this second half of the season, the Knicks have learned from their mistakes and understand that when they play as a unit, they're almost untouchable.
And if history is any guide from a Westchester standpoint, this is right around the time of year where those first-year guys start to make massive improvements. That they've been in a pro system for almost 3 months now. They've gotten in the routine. They've gotten past any type of rookie wall or any thoughts of the routine and the increased number of games and expectations through practice. And Westchester officials, Brandon Schwab coming over to see that Haas was both subbed in and out in the same whistle, which cannot do. You know, they're asking the official scorers who weren't sure, and I'm over here like nodding. Like,
I see you nodding.
Like, there's nothing I can do about that. But they got it right.
Yeah.
But the point was, as I got completely distracted watching this unfold in front of me, just the idea of the Knicks have the history of taking their first-year guys and elevating them midway through the year once everybody is settled in. Lamar Peters knocks down another three, and it'll be interesting to see LP, Kenny, Amir, VJ, who's been out with an injury, Tyler Hall. Can they take the next step over the next 25 games?
I think they could. As we saw Lamar Peters take and make the same shot that I told him not to take. So he's probably heard me over here talking. But I think they could. I think they have to continue to watch film and get better, look themselves in the mirror and figure out, how can I improve?
During the break, the officiating crew took a look at that final minute, what was originally called Lamar Peters 3. Turned out that it is just a 2, so the Knicks begin with a 5-point lead, 77-72, with Demetrius Nichols, David Resnick here in White Plains. Tyler Hall for a season high. He knocks it down, 24 points. First bucket of the second half. And he sets a new career high in his first year out of Montana State.
He's playing very, very well. I really like his energy. He's focused every time he gets in the game. He's locked in defensively, and he takes his shots when they're available.
VJ King in his first game back in almost a month after missing 10, earning himself fourth quarter minutes along with some other second unit players. Off the dribble, Amir Hinton, no. Lamar Peters tracks it down.
That's a big offensive rebound. And that's why you crash the boards. That's why I said the keys to the game is crashing the boards, giving your team second chance opportunities to hit shots like that.
Salt Lake City has always had the answer. Rodney Pryor.
Right back at you.
That pass thrown away and stolen away. Pryor the other way, just slipping right by Lamar Peters. BJ King early in the shot clock, feeling confident. So can the Knicks close?
That's the question.
Haas, the offensive rebound, dumps it inside. Kenny Wooten goes over the top and allows a three-point play opportunity to Kyle Collinsworth.
On number 1, Kenny Wooten. That's his third personal, team first.
Back to your question. Can they finish? Can they close? Can they keep
To the line, number 6.
their foot on the neck of their opponent?
Collinsworth completes the three-point play. Thanks for joining us on MSG on this Saturday afternoon. A Knicks doubleheader. We got the G League Knicks right now. There was a 3 o'clock tip, and then later tonight at 7:30, MSG, the big club, New York, will entertain the 76ers. Peters,
Good move.
the fake. A pass to Wooten out of his reach, and here comes Salt Lake City.
Get that.
Kenny Wooten thought he had it clean on Malik Benlevy. Instead, it's a foul against Wooten, his fourth.
A block like that on Kenny Wooten, you got to give a guy a benefit of the doubt. He already has 5 blocks, second in the league at block attempts. Give him the benefit of the doubt. He hustled, got his hand on the ball. If I was a ref, I wouldn't have called that call. How about you?
I'm a stickler for the rules.
Okay, I get it. Now listen, the foul's a foul, but give him the benefit of the doubt.
Hall stepping back, a contested 3. Collinsworth, Euro step into a swarm of jerseys, and now Benlevy with his feet set out of the corner. Another offensive rebound. Pryor pivoting, turning, off glass, no. Collinsworth crashing the offensive glass again, and Salt Lake City to within 1. So defensively giving up offensive rebounds, offensively taking ill-advised shots early into possession. BJ King into a crowd.
Salt Lake foul. On number 19, Rodney Pryor. That's his second.
The foul's on Pryor, not Haas, who thought he was clean. Martin Schiller, the head coach for Salt Lake City, now in his 3rd season, just kind of signaled to his guys to get back, who were a bit riled up off the bench.
He does a great job with his guys. He has a great system. Guys know their roles. See him coaching Pryor in the coach's box.
3rd year now in Salt Lake City. They made the playoffs last year. They lost their first 2 games of the season and then rattled off 14 in a row, including that Winter Showcase Championship and overtime victory over Grand Rapids. Kadeem Allen on the blow-by, hangs near the rim and comes up short. Faded away from the iron instead of going towards the rim. He hustles back on defense and alters the decision-making of Pryor. 3 seconds called against Haas.
I haven't seen one of those in a while.
See, rule stickler.
Yes, you're right.
I wouldn't call that. Forget about that. Who needs 3 seconds, right?
No, that's a great eye by the referees.
Knicks lead by 3, 8 left. Peters off the pump fake, good D by Pryor, got a piece. And after talking about tremendous 3rd quarter ball movement, the potato has gotten a bit stale.
And it doesn't have to be. It's a choice.
Oh, what dribbling, but no finish there for Mike Scott. More step back, a triple.
J.J. Moore.
That's it. As he lets Haas know, you can't guard
Well,
me.
he
That's what
can't
he
tell
said.
Haas you're too little.
Yes.
That is not a taunt that's on the table in that matchup.
No, sir.
Knicks get a stop. The lead is 6. Can they settle? Haas out. Moore stepping back. J.J. Moore lets another one fly.
I like it. The ball finds energy. Ball finds energy, and it seems like the ball always finds him in the air, whether it's a block, whether it's a dunk, as Brentley gets another two-hand slam. When you play with energy, the ball finds you. You don't need to have your number called to get an opportunity to shoot it, as White knocks down the shot over number 33 for Salt Lake City.
Great response by the Knicks.
Yes.
Salt Lake City had closed the gap to 1, and now the Knicks have been on a roll, 9 in a row. Bond slaps down the ball. You heard how clean that was. Salt Lake City recovers. Good defense by Moore, denying Collinsworth with straight-up defense. Moore's already hit 2 threes. This time puts it on the deck, right around Brantley. And J.J. Moore with 8 here in the 4th.
Great energy by J.J. Moore.
Catch and shoot. White the third. 3 more.
Another one.
Andrew
Yes.
White.
Westchester Knicks in a couple of weeks.
So Deonte Burton out of the timeout for Salt Lake City, and he scores. So the Knicks lead by 13 with 5 minutes to go. J.J. Moore has caught fire in this 4th quarter, supported by White the third. Kadeem Allen fires away and misses. Stars playing with pace. Burton wants it trailing. Tim Bond guarding him. Everyone locked in defensively for the Knicks, including Kadeem Allen, who comes up with the steal. Bond running the floor, skying to the rim. Finger roll was short. Disrupted just enough as he took off to miss the shot, and then on the other end, called for the foul.
Yeah, he jumped a little bit too far, too early, and the ball stopped right in front of the rim. But good defensive play by Kadeem Allen. And that's what the Knicks have to do. They have to continue to get easy plays in transition, turn their defense into offense.
Trayvon blew it. Foul line? No. Brantley just outworking the Knicks inside. It's 19 points, 7 rebounds for the Rook out of the College of Charleston. Lamar Peters, a jab step and a 3, creating enough of a window to shoot it over Blewett.
That's a good shot by Lamar Peters. Sized him up, jab step, get him off balance a little bit, just enough so he can get it off.
Brantley driving against Irvin, Wooten reaching in, and lucky for the Knicks that did not stay down. So we've been talking quite a bit about Peters. So why do you like that shot compared to the one from the 3rd quarter? Because on the surface, they're both 3-pointers.
Because that was a transition three. No, actually, no, I'm sorry. That wasn't a transition three. That was a jab step, walk into the three-point line, and knock it down straight ahead. He's in rhythm. The last three that he missed that I said something about, the guy was all over him. And that's why I made the comment that I made. But, you know, he's a good shooter, and he's going to continue to be aggressive. And the Knicks, Westchester Knicks, need him to be aggressive because he's one of the best guards in the league.
Kadeem Allen, the scooper.
I'm really impressed thus far what the Knicks have done in this fourth quarter. As Brentley gets the and one on Wooten, that's his fifth. Salt Lake City usually holds the opposing team under 103 points. The Knicks already have 104, so that's a good sign for the Knicks.
Brentley with a chance to complete the three-point play.
Returning to the game for the Salt Lake City Stars. Number 6, Kyle Collinsworth, and number 19, Rodney Pryor.
You know, we talked earlier about the value of a two-way contract for somebody like Kenny Wooten, who's a bit of a project, even though he's had promising games at the G League level. Well, for Jarrell Brantley, coming from a mid-major, the College of Charleston, that two-way contract provides an opportunity for maybe an unheralded prospect to get an NBA look. Rebounded by Hall.
And yes, and Brentley is, you know, he's proven himself. He's right on the cusp of being one of those guys that could get called up maybe next year or make a roster spot this summer.
Kadeem Allen all the way in. Irvin crashing the offensive glass. And he always seems to know where to be. Is Irvin a rebound shy of a double-double?
These Stars are 7 for 26 from the three-point line. That's 26%. That's great defense, guarding the three-point line. And lastly, playing the whole 48 minutes. They're up here with 2 minutes left. And let's see if they could keep this lead and get a W.
You know, so in some ways, they're 2 of 2 on your first two keys.
Yes.
And now we'll find out over the next minute 54 if they could complete the trio in terms of what you said would be important for today. You know, the Knicks are shooting 51% against one of the top 3 teams in terms of field goal percentage defense. 27 assists on 39 made baskets.
Yes. Today's a great day for the Knicks, and they're doing a great job. I think the 5 days of not playing the game as Peters shakes and bakes, misses the layup. You know, that break really helped them re-energize and refocus as Collinsworth
has been a gnat. 12 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists. You talked earlier how he holds the record for collegiate triple-doubles, and he is just the stat-stuffing type. And similar to Zach Irvin for Westchester, where it always just seems like he's in the right place, fundamentally sound in terms of filling the gaps, cutting, playing D, and also just crashing the offensive glass with great timing.
Yes, and that comes with energy. And like we talked about, we continue to talk about, you don't have to have your number called to get a play as he gets another offensive rebound and putback. So his plus-minus is going up. And, you know, just, you know, outplaying your opponent. And that's what you have to do if you want to separate yourself from others. Outplaying your opponent every single night and letting your presence be felt.
So it's a 2-possession game. J.J. Moore wanted a whistle. So too did D.A. Now Collinsworth, full steam ahead in the paint. Kyle Collinsworth knocks it down, and a timeout.
Before they've seen this story before, where they have to chip away and come back. This is a team that came back from a 19-point deficit a couple of weeks ago. They're not going to give up, and Westchester Knicks really have to be disciplined and take really good shots thus here on out.
Moore misses the bank. 4-point game, 3/4 of a minute to go. Great hands by Allen. White III wisely peels away.
Great decision by Andrew White III.
It's a 2-possession game. Salt Lake City plays straight up. Knicks have gone to Moore the last couple of trips, who comes to set a screen. Allen rejects it, and then he gets rejected. Brantley the block, dribbles up against Moore, spinning in the paint, gets to the rim, and puts it in with 15 seconds left. And so now the game cut to just 2. Off of a time, off that timeout. So go for a steal, then foul.
If I'm Salt Lake City, I am fouling immediately, making them shoot free throws, earn it from the stripe, and that's what they're trying to do now.
Salt Lake foul.
So Andrew White III, who's a good free throw shooter but not a good ball handler, was eventually fouled by Deonte Burton.
No, actually the foul was on Kadeem Allen. White wanted the foul. They fouled White, but they didn't call the foul for White.
Oh, okay.
But when White passed it to Kadeem Allen, they decided to call. Salt Lake City try to get Haas in for some extra rebounding, but the refs saying no subs right now.
2 free throws will be shot. Salt Lake City over the limit. Haas presumably will check in for this attempt at a defensive rebound. And Kadeem Allen makes the free throw.
He needs both of these.
Huge free throw upcoming here for Allen with a chance to make it a 2-possession game. Clutch. Didn't need the rim. Timeout, Salt Lake City.
Watch the handoff that might happen between Collinsworth and
You have enough time to go for a quick 2? There's got to be 3 here. They throw it inside to Haas. He's swarmed. That is partially blocked. Westchester comes away with it. Wooten, the game-saving defensive play, and that will do it in the County Center. One final stop for the